What is going on, everybody? It is the France, and it is that time already. It is going to go down this Sunday. We have finally made it to Wrestlemania 34. We are less than 2 days away. By the time you see this, we'll be getting close to the Hall of Fame later in the night. NXT TakeOver New Orleans tomorrow night, and then the big shebang, WrestleMania 34. We did the TakeOver predictions yesterday. If you want to go check them out, they're on the channel right now. Make sure to check out the Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and NXT reviews for the week. And make sure to check out last week's Unscripted, where we went over a lot of news, which we will get into our news tomorrow for this week. Of course, Daniel Bryan, the reason, pretty much Triple H telling the reason why they cleared Daniel Bryan without actually saying it. But we have so many matches to get into tonight. I will say this. We had John Cena this past Monday on Monday Night Raw cut about the same promo he has cut every single week, and no answer from The Undertaker. So I am not going to predict a single thing about that match. I honestly do not give two fucks. You built up this supposed feud, and apparently Vince McMahon did not want to have The Undertaker give any kind of message because fans are already intrigued. No, dumb fuck. A lot of fans are probably like, well, Undertaker didn't give him a response, so I don't even care anymore. There's a lot of people who were pissed and upset that Undertaker did not have any type of message. So the fact that they went this route for this match is totally fucking stupid. It's fucking bullshit. You should have had something, like I said on Monday. You could have had See You Sunday or something, or You'll Find Out on Sunday or something, and not just, oh, well, we're not going to have The Undertaker at all, because we know we don't want to waste everyone's time for a match that's inevitably going to happen. I don't know how you're going to even think about booking this. What, you're just going to have a space in between the show where you're going to have Michael Cole cue up what John Cena's been doing, even though John Cena's going to be a fan? Now, I don't care anymore. I hardly cared as it was. I was hoping at the Go Home show they would have did something to give me, well, okay, this will be interesting to see what they do. But no, they gave us absolutely nothing. So I honestly do not give a flying fuck, so I will not have a prediction for that match whatsoever, period. Other than that, we have two Battle Royals, which I really won't care. I'm really not going to go into much detail about them. The Cruiserweight Championship, which should open the show, not on the pre-show, but unfortunately we don't get that. We have Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the Intercontinental title and the Triple Threat match. Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev. I will have some news on Rusev and why he was actually added to this match tomorrow on Unscripted, so make sure to check that out. For the United States Championship, Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, which should be on the pre-show and not on the main card, but you know, WWE is fucking stupid. For the Raw Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's Championship, Sheamus and Cesaro versus Braun Strowman and a partner of his choosing for the Raw Tag Team titles, the Usos, the New Day, the Bludgeon Brothers in a triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. It is Multi-Man Mania. I know Vince McMahon doesn't like the word wrestling or wrestle anymore. He should change WrestleMania to Multi-Man Mania, because there are multi-man matches or multi-person matches littered throughout this entire show. I would like to see WrestleMania go back to where it's like maybe a tag team match here and there, where I know they would have two for the titles, but don't just throw triple threats and fatal four-ways. Not everybody has to be on Mania. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in a mixed tag team match, and Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. If Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win, they will be rehired for SmackDown. If not, they're going to Monday Night Raw, even though they didn't say that, because that's just how they booked it. Before we get into any of the actual matches, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the Women's Battle Royal, I honestly do not care. They keep trying to tout these matches as a launching pad for the winner. Well, really? What did Cesaro do for the first 2 years since he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Nothing. The Big Show was your second winner. He didn't need to be launched. I mean, he's a two-time WWE champion and former World Heavyweight champion. What part of his career needed to be launched? I mean, he already had a Hall of Fame career before he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Baron Corbin, what did he do for the first 2 years? Nothing. Mojo Valley. Hell, fuck, Mojo Valley won the Battle Royal and then disappeared until Zack Ryder came back and they reformed the Hype Bros until they broke up late last year. So, again, tell me, whose career was launched into the stratosphere with the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? Nobody's. The smart money man people say that Elias is going to win this Battle Royal. I don't know how, so I'm going with Elias. For the winner of the uterus-looking trophy, which does look like a woman's uterus, just saying. I don't know who fucking thought that piece of shit trophy should be used. They say it's going to be between Sasha Banks and Bayley, which it should be with how their blood feud is building on Raw. It should be one of those. Probably Bayley. I think Bayley should win that one because it does build into it that and should be down to Sasha Banks and Bayley or whoever else. And Sasha Banks is tossing somebody else out. Bayley comes from behind, tosses her out, and wins. It would just add to the fuel and give Sasha Banks a reason to turn on Bayley forever. Instead of being her friend, she wants to destroy the bitch. That's how it should be, and that's how I think it should go. Now, moving on to the Cruiserweight Championship, which of course started the night on January 23rd, 2018. Former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, you know who, was released from WWE, vacating the title. A separate general manager was then appointed to 205 Live, which was previously controlled by Raw general manager. And I don't know because I didn't really watch 205 Live till now. On January 30th episode of 205 Live, new general manager Drake Maverick, formerly known as Rockstar Spud of Impact Wrestling, scheduled a 16-man single elimination tournament to crown a new Cruiserweight champion, culminating in the finals at Wrestlemania 34, which again should be on the main show. You had 16 guys wrestle their asses off to make this title relevant after Vince McMahon fucking killed it as best as he could. You had 16 guys pour their heart out, and the best you got for Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali is, yeah, you guys you worked your ass off, but see you on the pre-show. Are you serious? But now we got the Raw Women's Championship, which has been on. Oh, you're blubber, you're blubby blah blah. Oh, you're fat and blah blah. Now that shit should be on the pre-show and be 5 seconds. No rings, kick to the face, leg drop, 1, 2, 3. That's how it should be. That's how it should end. Like that. We'll get to that later. Anyway, over the next couple of weeks, Cedric Alexander, TJP, Kalisto, Roderick Strong, Mark Andrews, Drew Gulak, Buddy Murphy, and Mustafa Ali advanced to the quarterfinals with wins over Grand Metalik, Tyler Bate, Lindsay Dorado, Hideo Itami, Akira Tozawa, Tony Nese, Ari Daivari, and Gentleman Jack Gallagher, respectively. Over the next 2 episodes, Alexander, Strong, Gulak, and Ali advanced to the semifinals by defeating TJP, Kalisto, Andrews, and Murphy, respectively. On the following 2 episodes, both Alexander and Ali secured their spot in the tournament finals by defeating Strong and Gulak, respectively, to compete for the vacant Cruiserweight Championship on the pre-show. Again, and by the way, the Cedric Alexander Roderick Strong match was so great. I mean, when you saw this match, and it started out, the crowd was, they're dead. They've been there for 2 hours and 45 minutes 2 hours and 30 minutes with the Mixed Match Challenge right after, which 205 Live will not have the Mixed Match Challenge before it, so it's going to go probably back to its 4 hour long. And if they are going to give these guys tag team titles, which has been rumored, that is going to be great for that show. But this should be opening every single pay-per-view. There should be the Cruiserweights. Why did Cruiserweights, the WWE is making the mistakes that they did back when they first had the Cruisers before. They start to not care. Hell, why do you think WCW was so good with the Cruiserweights? You had the big names to close the show, but the Cruiserweights opened the shows. You had Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho, Dean Malenko, Psychosis, and others off the top of my head I can't think of. But these guys, Jushin Thunder Liger was there too, so was Ultimo Dragon, which he didn't really do nothing anyway in WWE, but they were what got the people to come so you could have a good show. WWE needs to have somebody take care of the Cruiserweights like they should be, and they started to do that with Triple H. Triple H took over a week or so before, when Dumbass got fired for vacating for his what happened with him. Triple H was given the reins of 205 Live, and this quality has gotten better. But again, you give these guys 16 guys a chance to show what they can do in long matches on 205 Live. These weren't short 5-minute matches that they couldn't do anything. These guys actually got to work. But yet, all that hard work for the pre-show. And watch, like, you have Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali saying there's going to be 70,000 people in the Superdome when they have their match. I guarantee you this is going to be the first match on the pre-show and not even half the arena is going to be full. This is going to be fucking bullshit. You have a women's championship match that nobody gives a flying fuck about that has been booked so fucking poorly, and you're putting that on the main show when it should be the pre-show. It screams pre-show. It screams pre-show. And yet you're going to put that on the main card over the Cruiserweight Championship. Give me a fucking break. This match should be good. The smart money says Cedric Alexander, of course. Of course, I'm not going to go with the smart money every time. But I think Cedric's going to win this one. I think he was supposed to win the Cruiserweight title in January when all that stuff went down. So I think this is their way to give Cedric Alexander the title he should have had. He should have won the title multiple times before now. So he's going to win the championship, and I'm sure Mustafa Ali... I have a feeling Mustafa Ali might turn heel on Cedric Alexander because they have that friendly, budding rivalry that, you know, friends would have, but they want to do better. They want to one-up the other one, but they don't really want to hurt each other. They want to be the better man. And Cedric Alexander beating Mustafa Ali, I could see him easily turning heel on Cedric Alexander and becoming the big heel to challenge Cedric Alexander onto Backlash, which should be on the main show, but it won't be. It's going to be the pre-show. Again, this is what pisses me off. The whole time the Cruiserweight Championship has been around, the only time Vince McMahon has ever allowed the Cruiserweights on the main show when this stupid fucking idiot was the champion. When Neville was champion, it was on the pre-show. When Rich Swann was champion, pre-show. TJP, pre-show. It's always been on the pre-show for the last 12 to 13 months, and it's fucking ridiculous. WWE needs to get their shit together and put this on the main card. Fans poured their heart out because the SmackDown Women's Championship match was supposed to be on the pre-show last year. It ended up getting put on the main show, and it was a dumpster fire in the first place. It was like that. A 5-minute dumpster fire. So, yay, fans. Thank you for that one. Please, I don't know what has to be done. This show deserves the main card. Put that Raw Women's Championship match, which I don't even care about, on the pre-show because it does not deserve WrestleMania. It doesn't. It's a Monday Night Raw match, plain and simple. WrestleMania is supposed to be the showcase of the Immortals, the place that you put on your very fucking best. I know that doesn't always happen for WWE for WrestleMania, WrestleMania 2000, but this match screams WrestleMania show stealer at the top. This should be the match that starts the show after the America the Beautiful and whatever else you're going to have. This match should be the first 20 minutes of action, 20 to 25 minutes of action we see, with Cedric Alexander coming out on top, and Mustafa Ali, I have a feeling, is going to turn heel, and if Cedric Alexander's going to win, I can see them shake hands because they're friends. Cedric Alexander turns around, and Mustafa Ali just decks him from behind, beats him down, and that just ends their friendship, and we go from there. Speaking of that Women's Championship match, let's get on to it. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss should be a 2-minute squash. The match starts, the bell rings, Alexa Bliss tries to, whatever, she gets hit, she gets knocked, she gets put in a Samoan drop, hit with a leg drop, 1, 2, 3, and your new winner is Nia Jax. I don't care about this match. It has been booked poorly. It goes against every single thing that WWE wants to stand for. You want to be a star? This isn't the way to actually promote that on your TV. You're using high school drama. I posted something on Monday when it came to this. This screams Piggy James. Anybody who doesn't know what Piggy James is, back when Mickie James' first run in WWE was coming close to an end, she was drafted to SmackDown, and apparently she put on a little bit of weight, And WWE used that in storyline. You had her versus Lay Cool. And on the Titantron one day, on one SmackDown, when she was in the ring, you had on the Titantron, Michelle McCool singing Piggy James was on her from E-I-E-I-O, making fun of her weight. So it's kind of ironic how one of the women making fun of and fat-shaming Nia Jax is Mickie James. This is diva booking to a T. This is what the divas would have did for storyline. Fat-shaming, high school bullying. This is not what I watch wrestling for. This is not what you should be building your Raw Women's fucking Championship around. Alexa Bliss is so goddamn overrated. I don't care what color her goddamn hair is. You need to fucking stop catering the fucking blondes. When Bayley and Sasha Banks have shown for the last 4.5 to 5 weeks that they should be the Raw Women's Championship feud going into WrestleMania, after the build that these two have put into a feud that's just going to be in the Women's Battle Royal, you have these two fighting each other and starting to build to what's going to be a massive heel turn probably at the end of the Women's Battle Royal. And you know what? Half of WrestleMania is not even going to see it. That match should be, if it was Bayley and Sasha Banks, I would be fine. You don't really have anything else to take off of WrestleMania. Set the Cruiserweight Championship, but now, the Cruiserweight Championship should be in the Raw Women's Championship spot. Plain and simple. The Raw Women's Championship is a meaningless title. It has been meaningless since the brand split. The longest title reigns is Alexa Bliss, Charlotte when she first got it, and I believe Bayley. That's it. Sasha Banks has held it 4 times for less than a month. Charlotte's held it like 4 times. Her and Sasha Banks flip-flopping it back and forth. Alexa Bliss only defending after she got it back from Sasha Banks right after SummerSlam. She had it in TLC. Then Elimination Chamber. That's October, that's November, December, January, February. 3.5 fucking months where she did not defend the title 1 iota. That's not her fault. That's booking's fault. Yes, they had the Survivor Series match between her and Charlotte, but that's not defending the title. You had so many Raws between Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble, and you didn't have her defend the title either time. That's on you, WWE. You made this title so goddamn irrelevant, and you're putting it on WrestleMania's main card. I hope it opens the show and she gets squashed so we can just move on past this. Now, on to another Women's Championship match that actually means something. The SmackDown Women's Championship. As we all know, we had Asuka win her WWE. She won the Royal Rumble. Let me see here. After Royal Rumble, Asuka won the Women's Royal Rumble match, last eliminating Nikki Bella. Now, the way they ended that match was like, why would you do it this way? You had Asuka and Nikki Bella on the outside. If Asuka slips up takes the wrong step or something, Nikki Bella's going to WrestleMania. You know how bad that would have looked if Nikki Bella, who was only back for that one move, would have, if Asuka coming over the ring would have slipped instead of, when she fell on her back. If she slips and goes and falls outside, the match is over and Nikki Bella went to WrestleMania. But that's no here nor there. As a result, Asuka earned the right to challenge for a Women's Championship match of her choosing in WrestleMania 34. On the advice of Stephanie McMahon, Asuka postponed her decision until both Women's Championships had defended their titles at Elimination Chamber and Fastlane respectively. Yeah, but here's the problem with that. WWE's booking, writing team must have had brain farts or something. I don't know, because up until Fastlane, they had it going. They had Michael Cole, they had Charlie Caruso, I believe, they had Renee Young, and others sit there and say, "Oh, Asuka's going for the Raw Women's Championship. Asuka versus Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania." Alexa Bliss went out there and was like, "I can't wait to go to WrestleMania and break Asuka's streak," when she never made her decision. The only person who looked like somebody who actually had a fucking brain was Peter Rosenberg on the Elimination Chamber kickoff show. And yes, I do watch the kickoff show, unlike other people, because, I ain't got nothing else to do besides get ready for the shows. He actually was the only fucking person who sat there and said, "We don't even know who else is going to be wrestling at WrestleMania." You had everybody else at that very moment look like a complete and utter buffoon. This guy who's from ESPN and I believe Hot 97, who's not there on a daily basis, sit there and say what everyone else should be saying. And then, of course, when we get closer and closer to Fastlane, Michael Cole stopped saying the Raw Women's Championship and just said the championship, even though you look like a fucking fool for the majority of this build. Following Charlotte Flair's successful defense at Fastlane, Asuka appeared and indicated she would challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which was confirmed later that night on a WWE.com special. On the March 12th episode of Raw, Asuka explained that she had chosen Flair as she wanted to challenge the best women's champion, burying the Raw Women's Championship right then and there. She said she wanted a challenge. This goes back to the same thing that John Cena did for the build to his second match with The Rock for the WWE Championship. He wanted, in that instance, it was the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. And John Cena said, if I go for the world title, that's too easy. So that just buried that title right there. Asuka, this night when she said this, went, I want a challenge. I want to beat the woman. And pretty much said, Bliss, you ain't that. You are not a challenge. I've beaten you before. I can beat you again if I wanted to. I want somebody to challenge. So basically, bam, right there, you buried the Raw Women's Championship 6 feet under. That title is going to need garbage for the rest of its days. Just saying. On SmackDown the next night, Asuka confronted Charlotte, who vowed to end Asuka's undefeated streak. On the final episode before Wrestlemania, Asuka appeared following Charlotte's victory over Natalya, which was actually the only time you actually saw her, and it was the only interaction you had. Charlotte and Asuka 2 days after Fastlane, and then on the go-home show. Asuka really wasn't on SmackDown after that. And no, Asuka is not, and anybody wondering, is Asuka on Raw or is Asuka on SmackDown? Asuka is still officially a part of the Raw brand unless she wins the championship. Plain and simple. Unless she wins the championship, she's not going to SmackDown. So that's why. Then Flair said she was ready for Asuka, but asked Asuka if she was ready for her. Which, yes, Asuka is. Which, that was a really awkward way to end, to have that little stare down. These two really haven't had much interacting. The thing, you didn't really need to, though, because this thing is built on its own. Title versus streak. You really don't need a build. You really don't need face-to-face builds. You have one that's a champion, and you have one that is undefeated for 900 and some days. When Goldberg versus Hogan was happening, and Goldberg was 100 and some days undefeated, did you really need... And it was on a Monday Night Show, which I don't know why you thought that was a good idea. That should have been a pay-per-view match like that. You know how many buys that probably would have saved WCW for another 2 years. But when you had Goldberg versus Hogan, champion Hogan versus undefeated champion, U.S. champion Goldberg, first in this big, huge Titan match. I think it was 2 weeks before. I think they announced it 2 weeks beforehand. I could be wrong on that. Did you really need to have these two stand face to face and have a nice big promo battle? They might have had. I don't know. I didn't start watching wrestling at all until the actual match, so I have no idea on any of that. But it's like, you don't have to do much building for this match. All you had to do was title versus streak, plain and simple. Just like it's also like the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak versus Edge, I believe it was, and Batista. Title versus streak. When it's title, someone being champion versus an undefeated streak, all you have to say is champion versus undefeated person. That's it. That's all the build you need. No promos. I'm going to defeat your streak. Nothing. All you have to do is have a good, and this is something that's missing nowadays. You need a good commentary team to build this, because you don't really need words. Why is Asuka going to win this match? Because she needs to. It is too early. If you wanted to end Asuka's undefeated streak now, it would have been happening in NXT. She needs to be undefeated going into WrestleMania 35. Plain and simple. You need Asuka to win this match. Why? Because Ronda Rousey's on Raw. You're not going to have Ronda Rousey and Asuka on the same brand. Are you going to have Asuka lose this match right now? No. Why would you have Asuka lose at WrestleMania and just be like everybody else? Her mystique, most of her mystique is gone as it is, but you don't need Asuka to be on the same brand of Ronda Rousey. You have your WrestleMania 35 main event already set, ready to go. All you have to do is have Ronda Rousey get a little bit better, a little bit more seasoned. She needs to get that seasoning get a little bit more better in the ring, better on the mic, or have Paul Heyman be her advocate, whatever, and you just have Asuka go to SmackDown, win the SmackDown Women's Championship, have Carmella try and cash in at the pay-per-view, and she's going to take the pinfall. I have a feeling they're going to, and it's getting kind of annoying. If Carmella attempts to go for a cash-in during this match, do not have her stand at the fucking ramp and just wave on a fucking referee for the match to happen. All she has to do is beeline herself down to the ring to try and cash in. What happens? Asuka puts her in the Asuka lock, she taps out, and that's that. I do not want to see Carmella walk away with the Women's Championship because that means Asuka goes back to Raw, and the whole build to her going to from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania was absolutely pointless. Asuka needs to go to SmackDown. She's beaten everybody on Raw except for Ronda Rousey, and you don't want to have that match till WrestleMania 35. So we need Asuka. Asuka has to win this match. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. She is a member of Raw. Challenge. I don't know why they even did that. So basically, then that's another thing. When Shinsuke Nakamura was asked who he wanted to wrestle at WrestleMania, so if he would have said Brock Lesnar, would he still be on SmackDown until WrestleMania? Somebody answer me that one because that just makes no sense. Anyway, Asuka wins this one either by beating Charlotte, which I don't think they want Charlotte. This is the problem with this match. Charlotte, I don't think they want Charlotte to look completely weak by tapping out to Asuka. So having Carmella bring this down, bring her briefcase, cash in, and she takes the fall would actually probably be the best scenario for this because they don't want to damage Charlotte too much by having her be the one to tap out to Asuka. So having Carmella come down, cash in, and take the tap out would probably be the best scenario for them. So Asuka, by making Carmella tap out in this match, is where I'm going for. Cesaro and Sheamus versus Braun Strowman and a partner of his choosing for the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships. I do not have any idea who is going to be Braun Strowman's partner. I have heard Rey Mysterio. I have heard Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is not going to be his partner. Chris Jericho is going to be on tour with Fozzy at the time. So we can just nip that in the butt because it's not going to happen. I've heard Samoa Joe. I've heard people throw out the Brooklyn Brawler, if anybody. I don't know who's going to be, and honestly, I don't care as long as Braun Strowman, in my opinion, is being wasted in this WrestleMania. This has been a total waste of Braun Strowman's time. Instead of Roman Reigns being in this championship match with Brock Lesnar later in the night, I think it should have been Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns, plain and simple. Brock Lesnar should have lost the title. Brock Lesnar could have went off to the UFC where he's going anyway. But no, this is all they got for him. So I don't know who it's going to be, and I honestly don't care. Braun Strowman and his partner will win the tag team titles. And to anybody who sat there and looked at the greatest Royal Rumble advertisement, it was like, oh, they have the Bar versus the Hardys for the tag team titles. That is an early advertisement to sell tickets. They wanted to put that out there? Okay. Card is subject to change. Just like when people are sitting out there saying, oh, it's going to be Nia Jax versus Asuka for the and Charlotte versus Carmella in these events that are happening after WrestleMania. Card is subject to change. They don't want to put out there, and this is the thing, they don't want to put it Carmella versus Asuka for the Women's Championship or Nia Jax versus somebody else for the championship because that's just going to spoil WrestleMania, and WWE does their best to not spoil WrestleMania. Dana White, on the other hand, does not care about that. He already spoiled that, which we all knew it was coming. We'll get to that later. I'm going to say, yes, I honestly think this is going to be Sheamus's. If he's really, and you can tell sometimes, Sheamus, if you watch really closely towards the end of matches that Sheamus is in, you see him grabbing at his neck a lot more nowadays. So his spinal stenosis, if he's got spinal stenosis minor, that stuff doesn't get better. I honestly think WrestleMania could be like the last time we see. It's going to probably be Sheamus's last WrestleMania if his spinal stenosis gets any worse, because this dude has been fighting through pain. It's more evident every time I see him wrestle. It's more and more evident towards the end of matches. So I see the tag team titles coming off of the bar, and Sheamus and him might split up. Maybe they have a blow-off feud at Backlash or wherever, and Sheamus can end up maybe retiring. Maybe WrestleMania might be his last day, and we don't know it yet. We will have to wait and see. So I'm saying Strowman and his partner, depending on who his partner is, even though it could be anybody, and Braun Strowman just does all the work, and his tag team partner comes in and wins the match. I don't know. Usos versus New Day versus Bludgeon Brothers for SmackDown Live tag team titles. This one is interesting, and I'm not happy. I don't know why the New Day should even be a part of this. They've done enough with the New Day. I know Vince McMahon is a big fan of the New Day, and he wants to break all the records of tag team wrestling with the New Day in WWE, but it needs to stop. Throughout 2017, the Usos and the New Day fought various events over the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Best feud of 2017, though, I will say that, but it's time to end the whole New Day thing. The original feud ended in Hell in a Cell in the namesake match with the Usos victorious, which was by far the best Hell in a Cell of the two. The New Day earned another shot at the titles at Fastlane, but the match ended after both teams were attacked by the Bludgeon Brothers, Harper and Rowan, injuring Jay, Kingston, and Woods. I think Woods more than anyone else because he got powerbombed onto the steps, and that did not look pretty. On the following episode of SmackDown, Big E and Jimmy teamed up to take revenge but were defeated. On March 27th episode, New Day's Big E and Xavier Woods faced the Bludgeon Brothers, who won by disqualification after the Usos attacked them. A triple threat match for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships was scheduled for WrestleMania. So, the Bludgeon Brothers are winning this, no doubt about it. I don't want to see the New Day win them. They've had their time in the sun. It's time to give other tag teams the ball and let them go with it. Maybe the Bludgeon Brothers just become stale. I mean, all they've done except for when they faced the New Day and they faced Big E and Jimmy has faced mostly jobbers. And yes, Breezango and the Ascension are jobbers. They faced nothing but jobbers. They haven't faced any credible tag teams except for the New Day. I mean, credible tag teams as in the actual tag teams. Jimmy and Big E weren't a credible tag team because it was just a one-off. So, I say the Bludgeon Brothers could win the tag team titles, and if they keep them for a month, and let's see how they go. They just give them the ball, and they have to run with them. So, the New Day will probably take the pinfall here. They can put this team over. They need to. But honestly, a lot of people are saying there should be a ladder match. I mean, we ain't got a ladder match this year, and I'm really surprised about that. I mean, we had a tag team ladder match last year, which, of course, got us the Hardy Boys to come back, so I'm really surprised that there's no ladder matches, there's no table matches, there's no kind of stipulation like hardcore rules or anything. Which, if I'm pretty sure there'll be a last second no holds barred stipulation to Triple H and Stephanie versus Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey, which would not surprise me one bit. So that is going to be that. I say the Bludgeon Brothers are going to win those and become tag team champions, which will make Harper a two-time SmackDown Tag Team Champion, as he won them with the Wyatt family last year, or the year before that. I think it was in January or December of 2016 when the Wyatt family won the tag team titles, which they defended in Freebird rules. So Harper was a tag team champion before, and this would be his second time. This time with Rowan. Let's get this one out of the way. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I honestly don't care. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are going down, even though I could see, and it would not put it past them having Ronda Rousey being pinned by Stephanie McMahon due to shenanigans with Triple H pedigreeing Ronda Rousey to give his wife the victory. I could just see it happening. But if not, I see the Ronda Rousey making Stephanie McMahon cry like a little bitch, and 70,000 fans just enjoying it because it needs to happen. Other than her getting hit with a pretty bad Samoan drop a couple weeks ago, Stephanie McMahon doesn't really get any comeuppance. And after this is done, will this humble Stephanie? Will this make Stephanie be a better person? No. Whatever happens to Stephanie McMahon, like if she actually gets her arm ripped out by Ronda Rousey and beaten and clubbed by her own arm, enjoy it while you can, because when Stephanie McMahon eventually does make her return to TV, she'll just be the same old Stephanie McMahon we all hate and don't want to see. Well, honestly, if we can get the 2002, 2003 Stephanie McMahon that was actually a babyface again, I wouldn't mind it, because that was a good Stephanie compared to what we got now. But that's just wishful thinking. Let's see here. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. The biggest match at WrestleMania, in my opinion. 3 years. It's been 3 years since Daniel Bryan's been cleared to wrestle. So this is going to be the biggest match outside of Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles, and I think this match is bigger. Throughout the summer of 2017, Kevin Owens feuded with SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon at Hell in a Cell. Kevin Owens defeated Shane in a Hell in a Cell match, which was not really that good. And that got a little too uncomfortable because these two were up on that cell for a long amount of time, looking like they were trying to break through the cell. It just was so uncomfortable because if you think about it, that cell is twice the size of the cell that Mick Foley fell through twice. So just watching that, I couldn't watch that match again. Thanks to the help of friend-turned-rival Sami Zayn. Zayn explained that he acted out of disappointment about not getting the expected opportunities at SmackDown and realized that Owens was right all along in his questionable acts. Owens and Zayn continued the feud with Shane, including attacking him at Survivor Series, which just gets on my nerves that, like they said, oh, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens cost SmackDown Live the match at Survivor Series. No, they did not. No, they did not. Everyone except for Randy Orton and Shane McMahon was eliminated already. Shane McMahon fought them off with a chair and sent them away. They didn't cost SmackDown shit. Shane McMahon, it was just bad booking there. Shane threatened to fire them if they lost the match at Clash of Championships, while SmackDown General Manager Daniel Bryan seemingly favored the two by giving them WWE Championship opportunities. First, at the Royal Rumble, where AJ Styles retained the title against both in a handicap match, despite a controversial finish that Shane ignored. And again, at Fastlane, where Owens and Zayn were among the 5 challengers during the latter, the feud escalated as Shane broke up pinfalls by Owens and Zayn. Shane then took an indefinite leave of absence, which lasted 2 weeks. Indefinite leave of absence that lasted 2 weeks. Yeah, that's not indefinite. But as one last decision, he scheduled Zayn and Owens and they fight each other at WrestleMania 34. Zayn and Owens each reacted by brutally attacking Shane the following week. Bryan, whose last match was in April of 2015, which, if anybody remembers, the concussion that he suffered was his own damn fault. If anybody remembers watching that match back, it was a match against Sheamus, and he, not Sheamus, took his head and deliberately drove it like 2 or 3 times into Sheamus's head. So the concussion that cost Daniel Bryan 3 years of his career was his own damn fault. Owens and Zayn, whose last match was that he was medically cleared to compete against. Again, later he fired Owens and Zayn for their attack on Shane and received a beatdown. In response, Bryan said he regretted favoring them and scheduled a tag team match pitting himself and Shane against Owens and Zayn, with the latter being rehired if they won. On the final SmackDown before WrestleMania, Shane, who was also cleared to compete, I don't buy that 1 minute, and Bryan said that Shane was right all along. Shane had told him not to trust Owens and Zayn. Zayn said that after WrestleMania, Owens and Zayn would never be on SmackDown again. This one could go both ways. I say Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon are going to win this. I honestly think they're going to do an injury angle, because I don't think Shane McMahon is medically cleared. They're just saying that. The dude had, and he had diverticulitis. I say had because unlike Brock Lesnar, who almost could have died from it the first time, it was caught late. I believe they caught Shane's diverticulitis very early on, so he didn't have to suffer as much as Brock Lesnar did the 2 times he had it. So maybe his diverticulitis has cleared up, but there is no fucking way this guy should be wrestling with a hernia. This guy has a legit hernia. There is no way he should be wrestling. As you saw on the final episode of SmackDown before we get to WrestleMania, Shane McMahon comes out to do his dance and he just grabs puts his hand on his midsection like, whoa, I can't be doing that. So I have a feeling they might do an injury angle for this match on the pre-show where Shane gets beat down again by Owens and Zayn, and then Daniel Bryan's like, oof. And then we have somebody come out and be Daniel Bryan's partner. I don't know who, but Daniel Bryan with Shane or with somebody else is going to win this match, in my opinion. And then Kevin Owens, the same as Zayn, will show up on Monday Night Raw the next night. So there's that. I believe that leaves us with the 2 main titles. Nope, we do have the mid-card titles, that's right. Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal, the modern day failure Raja, and Rusev Day. This one is interesting as well because Randy Orton won his United States Championship from Bobby Roode at Fastlane following the match. Jinder Mahal, who felt he should have been in the match, attacked both men, but he and Orton received a glorious DDT from Roode. On the following episode of SmackDown, Roode confronted Orton and invoked his rematch clause for WrestleMania 34, which it should have stayed a singles match, but whatever. Mahal interrupted and defeated Roode in a match, but suffered an RKO from Orton. The following week, Orton was scheduled to defend the United States Championship in a triple threat match against Roode and Mahal at WrestleMania. On the March 27th episode, Mahal teamed with Rusev to defeat Orton and Roode, who turned on each other after Roode attacked Orton attacked Roode with an RKO. Backstage, Mahal said he would give Rusev a front row seat to WrestleMania to watch him win, but Rusev said wanted to be in the title match since he pinned Orton, which was made official, making the U.S. Championship match a fatal 4-way. The following week, Rusev defeated Mahal, but received an RKO from Orton, who had a stare down with Roode. Now, I think WWE would be foolish to have anybody else but Rusev win this match. As I said before, I will have more talk about this tomorrow. And the real reason, because remember last week on Unscripted, if you haven't seen it yet, go check that out on the channel. It was told that Rusev was put into the match because of his high merch sales. Well, that looks not to be the case entirely, and I will have more on that tomorrow. But with all that's been going on, if Rusev does not win this match better be early on and not like towards the tail end of the show, because if Rusev does not come out of this show as your new United States champion in the Bourbon Street and all of the Superdome chanting Rusev Day, you are making a terrible mistake. Of course, I will talk about that more on Unscripted tomorrow. Make sure to check that out. But Rusev should win this match. Bobby Roode doesn't need it. Bobby Roode needs to turn heel. Randy Orton doesn't need it. Randy Orton's had the championship. It should be a Toko title reign. And Jinder Mahal should get the fuck off my TV because I cannot stand him. The WWE Championship that he had last year should have been the United States Championship, but no. Let's give him the 2010 the WWE Championship. Make him the 50th new WWE champion. Let's not hold that honor to somebody like Shinsuke Nakamura or Bobby Roode or somebody else. No, let's kill SmackDown for 6.5 months and kill the WWE Championship, which AJ Styles is barely trying his hardest to bring that thing back to prominence, where Jinder Mahal left it in a pile of shit. So this guy needs to go. Give him his pink slip, send him out, make him a guy on main event. I don't care. I do not want to see Jinder Mahal winning this match at all. Gee, the thing. Jinder Mahal last year was the final person eliminated from the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal after getting hit with a shoulder tackle by Rob Gronkowski, won the WWE Championship, lost the WWE Championship before a match with Brock Lesnar, which I'm sure Brock had something to do with that. And now he's on WrestleMania this year in the U.S. Championship match. Wow, this guy, I don't even know. So I'm going with Rusev because it would be foolish for anybody else to win this match. Hopefully Bobby Roode turns heel right after this because Bobby Roode needs to turn heel. That gives us the Intercontinental Championship, Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus The Miz. For the Intercontinental title, this, I wish, was the ladder match. This screams ladder match worthy. Now, of course, anybody does remember these three did have a match last year in May, I believe. I believe it was in May of last year, which was the final match of the night for an episode of Monday Night Raw. And until the ending, we had a pretty decent match. And then, of course, Finn Balor got hit with his sister Abigail and lost the match. After failing to win the Elimination Chamber match, and the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, said he should be main event WrestleMania 34 anyways, as he felt that his title was more important than the Universal Championship, which, quite honestly, it is right now because the Universal Championship is, other than the Raw Women's Championship, on Raw, the titles are like this. Intercontinental title, Tag Team titles, Women's title, Universal title. In their relevancy, the Universal title has done nothing on Brock Lesnar for the year plus that he has had it. He demanded a challenge for WrestleMania, to which Seth Rollins came out and defeated him. After that, Finn Balor also came out and defeated The Miz. The following week, both Rollins and Balor confronted The Miz, leading to a 2-on-3 handicap match between Rollins and Balor and The Miz in his Miztourage, in which Rollins pinned Miz. Afterwards, Raw General Manager Kurt Angle scheduled The Miz to defend the Intercontinental title against Finn Balor and Rollins in a triple threat match at WrestleMania. On March 12th episode, The Miz interviewed his WrestleMania opponents on Miz TV, which ended up in Rollins and Balor bluntly taking out Miz, and Rollins attacked Balor, who later defeated Rollins. On Miz TV the following week, Miz and The Miztourage faked a breakup and attacked Balor and Rollins, which the Miztourage stuff, who overcame the attack after the match, after which Balor attacked Rollins. On the final Raw before WrestleMania, Rollins defeated Balor in a rematch, which was a pretty damn good match. This one, I'm going with the smart money guys who say Finn Balor is going to win this match because Seth Rollins, I think, does not need the Intercontinental title. I say Finn Balor does because he needs that. He's a workhorse. He would give that title its his moniker of being a workhorse title again. Miz has done nothing with the title. It has got so fucking annoying and fucking stupid for him to come out every single week and be like, I'm going to be the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I'm going to be the greatest champion of all time. No. The longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time still is the Honky Tonk Man. He held it for 16, 18 months or something like that? Length of title reigns separately does not mean shit. It does not matter if you've held the title 7 times and held it for X amount of days. Hell, I believe the longest reign right now is from 2 title reigns. So for you to sit there and say, oh, I'm going to be the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, no. You're not even in the top 5. Let's see, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy, Chris Jericho, to name 3. Yeah, and Jeff Hardy, I do say, is up there in the top 5. But yes, Miz just needs to lose the Intercontinental title and go do something else. Go back to SmackDown, reignite your feud with Daniel Bryan. JD from New York decided he wanted to say Miz should win Money in the Bank, go to SmackDown, win the WWE Championship, put Nakamura in November or December. I'm fine with that. Keep that title warm. Have Daniel Bryan win I wouldn't have him win the Royal Rumble. I would have him win the Elimination Chamber, if anything, because I know they're going to be dual winner pay-per-views for the Elimination Chamber. 3 from Raw, 3 from SmackDown, or if they want to go big, 4 from Raw, 4 from SmackDown, have an 8-man match. So there you go. And then you have Daniel Bryan win the Elimination Chamber and go to WrestleMania to take on The Miz. And then, of course, that comes full circle for those two, and we finally have a resolution to that little feud that they had on SmackDown before Miz got drafted to Raw. So I'm going with The Miz on that one. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns wins. Don't even need to go over it. It's been a terrible feud. It's just been awful. I can't even get into it. This is another match I give absolutely no fucks about. How many it's like they put a post out there because Brock Lesnar survived 5 Superman punches. How many will he survive at WrestleMania? No, the question you should be asking is how many F5s is Roman Reigns going to break out of or kick out of before he hits one spear and pins Brock Lesnar 1, 2, 3. Then what are you going to do? So is that going to be like after Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar for the title with one spear, when we get the Backlash, whoever he faces, they're going to finally have somebody kick out of the spear? And I don't know. And by the way, the spear is not a move that should ever be taken as a devastating move. It is a setup move. It was a setup move for Goldberg. It was a setup move for others. The Gore was one variation because he actually ran through the guys. Rhino actually ran through his opponent, not like catching them and holding and pushing them down with him. He actually ran through everybody. So that's a finisher. The spear on its own should never be a finisher, period, minus the Gore. Then that leads me to my main event. It might not be theirs, but my main event, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, which I am looking forward to this match. I don't care how piss poor the build for WWE has been. I cannot wait for this match. Let me see here. At the Royal Rumble, SmackDown, Shinsuke Nakamura won the Men's Royal Rumble by last eliminating Roman Reigns, which the final 2 men to be eliminated by Shinsuke Nakamura were John Cena and Roman Reigns. That is huge for a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura to take out the face and the WWE's wannabe replacement face, even though we all know that is Daniel Bryan. They will find out at WrestleMania when Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns are having their Universal title match, and you hear Daniel Bryan being chanted probably through the entire thing, or this match is boring, or you both suck. Just saying. Earning himself a World Championship match of his choosing at WrestleMania 34. After the match, when questioned on which championship he would challenge, Nakamura chose WWE Champion AJ Styles, a match previously teased at Money in the Bank, which it was still a pipe dream and everything we wanted, but at the time Vince McMahon did not. Of course, as we got closer to WrestleMania, Vince McMahon started focusing tunnel vision on Roman Reigns, which has been a massive failure, and Shinsuke Nakamura has not, and AJ Styles has been focused by other people. During the latter match at Fastlane, Styles successfully defended the WWE Championship in a six-pack challenge, confirming the Styles-Nakamura match at WrestleMania. On the post-Fastlane episode of SmackDown, Styles and Nakamura expressed respect for each other, but Nakamura promised to deliver a Kinshasa to Styles. No, he promised a knee to face. A knee to the face, which he did, say that, and become the WWE Champion, which would make him the first native Japanese wrestler to win the WWE Championship. Yokozuna is Samoan, by the way. On March 27th episode, Styles was in Nakamura's corner, but for Nakamura's match against Shelton Benjamin, after defeating Benjamin, Nakamura said he only wanted AJ at ringside to show him how he would beat him at WrestleMania. Benjamin and Chad Gable then attacked Styles, who was saved by Nakamura, who teased performing a Kinshasa on Styles, and then patted him on the head, which was funny as can be. On the final episode of SmackDown before WrestleMania, Styles warned Nakamura to not take him lightly in reference to a previous encounter in New Japan Pro Wrestling by stating that WrestleMania was bigger than the Tokyo Dome, which over the last few years, kind of honestly, WrestleMania has not been as bigger than Wrestle Kingdom. Wrestle Kingdom has actually pretty much outshined WrestleMania the last, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. At least the last 3 years with Roman Reigns in the main event, by the way. Nakamura responded and said he was not taking Styles lightly, but he knew Styles well, and Styles' emotion would cause him to make a mistake. The two later teamed up to defeat Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. After the match, Styles teased performing a phenomenal forearm to Nakamura, and then, of course, smiling when Nakamura ducked and patted him on the head, leaving Shinsuke Nakamura in a fit of, it looked like he was getting a little pissed off. Well, this one's going to be an obvious one. It's going to be Shinsuke Nakamura winning this match and taking the WWE Championship, because I have a feeling with a superstar shakeup, which the Bar, of course, made apparent going to probably be happening after WrestleMania, I see AJ Styles finally remove the Raw, which WWE wanted to do last year, but brought over Bray Wyatt instead. So I see AJ Styles losing to Shinsuke Nakamura, and I have a feeling their title rematch will be at the Greatest Royal Rumble event on April 27th, a few weeks later. But AJ Styles, I see every single title changing hands. I know that's going to be hard for people to stomach, but I think AJ Styles should lose. I think Roman Reigns, of course I know Roman Reigns is going to win. That's not a think, I know. Let's see here. Let's see. So, to recap, I say Elias for the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I say Bayley or Sasha Banks. I'm going with Bayley because it does make it better if you have Bayley win and then Sasha just destroy her, leading to a big match, maybe a number one contenders match for the Women's Championship, which of course would be held by Nia Jax by then. Cedric Alexander over Mustafa Ali, Roman Reigns over Brock Lesnar, Nakamura over AJ Styles, Finn Balor over Seth Rollins and The Miz, Rusev over Randy Orton, Nia Jax over Alexa Bliss, Asuka over Charlotte Flair, Braun Strowman and his partner versus Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bludgeon Brothers over The New Day and the Usos, Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey over Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and Daniel Bryan over Shane McMahon over Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I will be here, of course, for right as soon as that show goes off the air. I will be on here recording my review and reactions to that show. It is a stacked show this year, and if WWE does the right thing, this should be the best WrestleMania in a long while. Yes, WrestleMania 30 was a pretty good show, but it wasn't a picture-perfect show. 31 was okay. 32 sucked balls. Last year was other than the Hardy Boys return and AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. That show was not good at all. This year looks like it could be the best show in a while, and it does not need The Undertaker and John Cena, plain and simple. It does not need. Now, Dave Meltzer did point out, and we'll say this before I go, Dave Meltzer did point out that The Undertaker versus John Cena might not happen this year. They may have an altercation that sets up next year's WrestleMania to where Undertaker versus John Cena, career versus career, something like that, at WrestleMania 35. If they want to do that, that is fine. I do not need to see a match. But that is going to be all for this WrestleMania preview and predictions. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at the France. Find me on twitch.tv/thefrance08. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below. Hit that like button and let me know what you guys think. Who is going to win what and which titles are going to change at WrestleMania, and will we see The Undertaker and John Cena wrestle at WrestleMania this year, or will it be leading to a match next year? Until then, my name is The France. You guys have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow for Unscripted.